Hello there. So I've got my earbuds on tonight so that you can hear me and not the sounds of the city. Right. You're in the big city, or one of the big cities today. Good evening. Good evening. My name is Dr. Turnera Croom, and you are with the Senior Pet Chat with Dr. Croom every Monday night. We come in and discuss some of the issues and amazing aspects of having a senior pet. So I see there's one eye. Could that one eye let me know if you can hear me okay? Again, I've got these earbuds in, so I want to make sure that you all can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up or a something. I'm also unable to see all of the locations that I'm streaming to right now. So if you put a comment in the chat and I don't see it, uh, then it's all good. I think that the place that I can see comments is on the Dr. Croom Army Vet page. So if you're on my business page, Dr. Croom Army Vet, that would be the location where I'm live that you could put in a comment that I believe I could see it. Thank you, someone, for putting a thumbs up. I saw that. It sounds like you could hear me okay. So welcome, 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 everyone. Happy Monday to you. I hope you had a blessed weekend and that your Monday was productive or maybe a little bit more relaxed, like somebody we know. We won't name any names though, but wanted to come in and say I'm so excited because more and more of you have been joining me on the Senior Pet Chat on Mondays and even asking for me to talk about certain topics. And that's exactly what I want, to start the conversation. A lot of people out there love senior pets. One of my dear friends and senior pet lover, Miss Daphne Ben in Kalamazoo. Daphne, hey, she is a senior pet lover. She adopts dogs that are older, who some people might not have chosen, and gives them a home, right up until the very end. And that's tough in and of itself because it's hard enough having a puppy, having a dog from, puppyhood or a cat from kittenhood all the way up to, 18, 19 years and then having to say goodbye. But what about you getting a senior dog, midlife? Maybe they're already 8 or 9 years old and no one else is adopting them and you do. That's about half the amount of time that you would typically have with a pet. So kudos to you, Daphne, and those who go out seeking senior pets who just need a loving home. Tonight, though, talk about something you can see here. We got a little bit of the cooler weather gear on, right? And maybe you've started looking in the closet, starting to peel out some things these last couple of evenings and and mornings have been like, okay, wintertime, like what's going on? At least for those of us up north. I know some of the viewers may be more so down south, but up here, yeah, the hat, the jacket, it's coming out. And that kind of made me think of, it probably made one of our viewers think of traveling with their senior pet because it's that time of the year to start thinking about where you're going to be for the various holidays, right? Uh, whether people will be coming to your house or whether you're going to be traveling to them. Sometimes those plans involve leaving the senior pet at home, right? Sometimes that's the best thing for the senior pet, depending on their level of anxiety and depending on, you know, how they interact with other family members or, the dog sitter, things like that. So, one option, of course, would be to allow the senior pet to stay home if you leave. We'll just throw that option right out there right away. And that's a very viable option. Nothing wrong with that. You know your pet best, so only you would be able to know whether it's best to let them stay at home while you travel. Another thing to think about would be if you do decide to travel with your pet, would be again, knowing their interactions. We know that some pets are averse to other pets. They really don't like that. Some are fine with other pets, but aren't too good with other people handling them or touching them. You got to know your own pet so that you don't put them in a situation where they could be so nervous that they do something out of character and then everybody's upset. So, know your pet, know what's best. Think about some of these things that we're going to discuss tonight. And if you have any suggestions, definitely feel free to put them right in the chat. So, we're talking about traveling with senior pets. One of the things you want to do, and one of the things that I see a lot with my senior pet owners, is that their dogs get nervous in the car or get sick, maybe vomiting in the car or something like that when traveling. It's like, what can I do? Some of them have even tried some things like Trazodone or what's the Dramamine. It's so interesting that a lot of these drugs that we humans use for various ailments are the same ones that we use for pets, the exact same medication sometimes. So some people already have those kinds of things on board, but then come to me because they want a more holistic way to do that. And I definitely have some of those. So maybe instead of something like Trazodone, which can be very helpful for some pets, um, but it may cause some pets to just get so like just out of character where they're just so groggy and sloggy. They don't want that. The owner wants them to be relaxed, right? But still, alert enough to be able to look around, perhaps not totally knocked out like they were anesthetized. So yeah, so you could talk to a holistic vet like myself and find some more natural options for traveling with your pet that would allow them to stay calm. You already know that I have my own brand of pet CBD. That's something that a lot of pet parents have started gravitating to now that they've realized, like for real, that it's no uh, no THC or anything like that, because there are some people out there that still correlate CBD with other types of plants, and we only have hemp-based CBD products for our pets. So um, that's one thing that you could try that might be better than a pharmaceutical. I've got a nice herb that's called Shen Calmer. If you are a client of mine already, you probably already know about it. As a matter of fact, just tonight, we got an email from one of our clients who just was like, hey, can we get some more of that Shen Calmer? Sometimes people are a little, if they haven't used herbs before, they may say, like, oh, Shen, like herb, like what is herb gonna do? And sorry, wait a minute, my alarm on my vehicle was going off there. Okay. Uh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, if you hadn't guessed, I'm in the Windy City here. And this is another reason why I'm thinking that talking about traveling is good. Like I love traveling to see my family. And sometimes I have to decide, whether I'm going to bring Mayo or not. And again, when you have a senior pet, you got to take a lot of these things into account, even more so than with a younger pet. But a lot of these things do still apply to younger pets as well, like, knowing what their reactions are to certain things and making sure they stay calm and, keeping nausea away. Again, one of those things is Shen Calmer. Another is my CBD. That if you go to my website, which is drcroom.com, you can see all about it. You can read about my philosophy on CBD and all my other holistic services. You may be familiar with my chiropractic services, and sometimes people tell me that they didn't realize that there was something like chiropractic medicine for pets. But yes, yes, this is something, even before traveling, before or after traveling, you could come and get a service like a chiropractic adjustment, because if the pet is in the vehicle with you, really, whether it's a dog or a cat, or whether it's you could travel with your reptile, right? I have a gecko, And all I need to travel with her is with her little heating mat, and we're good to go, right? And so I might travel with her. Being in the vehicle, your body, just like our bodies, take all kind of shocks, front, back, side, you're braking. And so a nice chiropractic adjustment would be really, really good for your pet as you're traveling. So before you travel, and then when you return, you could come and get my services, of course. Now, a lot of my services are virtual. So obviously, I can't do the doggy back crack virtually, but I can give you a lot of holistic advice and things like that. So I see my niece approaching me. I'm live right now. You want to join me and say hello?
Yeah.
All right. We're talking about senior pets today. This
Hello.
is Gabrielle, my beautiful niece, and this is her hometown, Chicago. We're talking about senior pets today. So, pets that are older than, like, say, 8 years old, and, they start having special needs, right, when they get older, just like human older people do.
Yeah.
So, what would you think? Okay, I'll give you a little quiz. We'll see what she can think of, being in an animal household or animal family. So if you're thinking about an older pet, say an older dog, and you were traveling with them, like say you were coming to Michigan to visit us and an older dog was in the car, what were some things that you would think you would have to think about with your senior pet?
Some things like issues running around and stuff.
She was running around where?
Their legs getting all weak and stuff.
The legs getting all weak. Well, I was thinking about something about the legs. Like if they're going to be traveling with you in the car, you might think about these older pets and their legs and their joints.
Yeah.
That they may have a little bit of arthritis and stuff like that, right? Which
Yeah.
could be a little painful traveling in the car, especially if they were in a crate, right?
Oh yeah.
Because if it was a dog, sometimes they travel in crates.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes I know a lot of people, because I'm sure you see it too, where the dog is just hanging right out the window, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's just
Saw
like,
that.
but I mean, and that's another thing that actually reminds me of another thing when traveling with your senior pet, make sure they have a seatbelt on, right?
Yeah.
Because same things that can have, I mean, the same things that can have to our bodies with emotion of that kind of emotion, if you got into something, would be the same thing that would happen to your pet. I have a little seatbelt that I got from Mayo, and it just it clicks right into her collar, and then it goes right into the seatbelt, and it just allows her. It still allows her whole head to come out, but not too far.
Not too
Okay.
far.
So with a senior pet, you want to make sure, doubly make sure that you have something that's going to stabilize them when you're traveling and stuff like that. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining me. Well, I'm just actually just about done here. Oh, turmeric is unbeatable. Hey there, Sandra Reese. I see some comments here. Thank you, Gabby. I'll be with you in just a minute. Okay. That was my niece, Gabrielle. She's so amazing. She was talking about the legs and how you got to think about those senior pets and their joints and their arms and legs and things like that. So let's see. How you doing, Sandra Reese? I love you. Thank you so much for always being so supportive. Up in the Detroit area, you hold it down up there. You also are an amazing pet owner and pet parent. I was just talking about a woman that I know who adopts and rescues older pets, senior pets. And I know that you foster as well, Miss Reese. So great job. Keep it up. Keep going. Thank you, Miss Reese. You said my 500 milligram CBD with turmeric is unbeatable. Look, I'm just reading what the comment says, okay? Thank you, Miss Reese. Yes, I know her. Beautiful Pit Red, who did pass away earlier this year or maybe late last year. Did have the opportunity to utilize the 500 milligram CBD that I make. And, a lot of times for senior pets, you just want to make sure that they're comfortable. We know we can't necessarily add 10 years onto their life or something like that. So why not make sure until it is their time, make sure that they're not going through daily pains that can be prevented. Okay. So That's what we're looking for. That's what most senior pet parents are looking for. And, you guys are no different. So again, as we finish out here, we're talking about traveling with your senior pet. You want to keep their anxiety levels down. We want to make sure that their immune systems are up to par. That means prior to your travel, you want to make sure that they have all their vaccinations, first of all. Now, again, being a holistic veterinarian, vaccinations, that's not the first thing that's going to pop out of my mouth, although they are very important. So we're what, almost 20 minutes in, and this is the first time I've said vaccine, but it is important, especially if your senior pet is going to be interacting with other pets. Okay, Bordetella is very contagious. Parvovirus is very contagious. Those kinds of things. So senior pets, especially if their immune system isn't all the way up to par, could be more susceptible to those diseases, even those diseases that you kind of mostly consider to be younger pet diseases like parvo and distemper. That opens them up. So, again, coming and doing a holistic consultation with myself or another holistic vet, we would talk about those kind of things. Is your pet on a good probiotic that's going to keep their immune system up? Do they need something to calm them down so those stress levels don't rise up? So, we talked about keeping your pet restrained in the vehicle when you're traveling with them, right? Um, a seatbelt is something that I use for my dog. And so make sure that you keep your pets, whatever they are, whether it's a bird that you're traveling with or a snake, whatever their enclosure is, you want to make sure that that's strapped down and that everything is right for them. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I got for you tonight. Again, as I'm here in the Windy City, got my niece, I got my fam, and as you prepare to travel this year during the holidays or this cold weather winter, uh, you want to make sure that your furry loved one or your not so furry loved one is safe and has everything on board that they need. So again, here in Michigan, I'm licensed here in Michigan, so I have a lot of clients that are here that I do a consultation for. I might, give them some holistic medication or some pharmaceuticals in Michigan. But outside of Michigan, where I'm not licensed, I can only do the holistic. So if you're outside of Michigan, you can still contact me for a holistic consultation, get access to my herbs and other things that are not considered medications and no pharmaceuticals. So keep that in mind. And if you go to drcroom.com, you'll see those options as well when you say schedule an appointment. So I love you guys. I wish the best for you and your senior pets. I know that if you're tuning in here, whether you're here for the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that you were here. I appreciate that as we move forward. There are so many exciting things that have been happening recently. I mean, I've been winning a couple contests here and there, and just keep your eyes peeled. We've got a big crowdfunding campaign coming up that's going to help all those youth out there, all those students that are interested in veterinary medicine. So many reach out to me and say, Dr. Kroom, I'd like to, could you mentor me? Could you, can I shadow you? And I don't always have time to do it, unfortunately, but I always want to. I always want to. And I know that's the same for a lot of other veterinarians as well. So I've created a system that allows future veterinarians to connect virtually with licensed veterinarians across the country like myself who want to give back. And so this crowdfunding, keep your eyes peeled for the crowdfunding. I'm going to need everyone's help and participation to make this thing a go. We're going to have the kids meeting in the metaverse with me so that they can get in there and not be left behind with the metaverse. That is a thing, people, that digital world, not just gaming. It's not just gaming. It's a lot going on there that I'm not going to miss out on. My family is not going to miss out on. And I don't want your family to miss out on either. So make sure you're following Dr. Kroom Army Vet on Facebook, on LinkedIn. It's under Dr. Kroom or Turnera Croom, something like that, or maybe my company, Steadfast International. But definitely, if you've got some future veterinarians in your family, in your life, somebody who's always with animals, always, watching those documentaries on Discovery. Man, that's what I always used to do with my dad growing up. It was like watching, I mean, we could watch all day, underwater, bears, over in Russia, all this stuff that I always used to love growing up, knowing that I wanted to be a veterinarian. So I had opportunities. Again, I had a dad who was in science and guided me into that. I had a mom who also taught at college and, you know, let me know that that was a natural progression. Every kid does not have that. So this crowdfunding campaign, y'all, I'm telling you, when you start to see it, I would love for you to share it around and contribute as much as you can so that we can get access. That's the main thing. So that, youth kids that look like her, kids that look like, you know, brown and black and those who've been underrepresented can also have access. Okay. Program is for everyone. You know, you've got to make sure that those who have not historically had access get that access. And that's what we're supposed to do when we get into a position where we can give back. So, again, this is Dr. Croom, Army vet. I'm here with my baby girl, Nisi Pooh, Gabby, and we will see you next week. I'm here every Monday night for the senior pet chat. I love senior pets. They are wonderful to have in your life. If you don't have one in your life, get one in your life. Senior Pet Chat every Monday night. I will see you next week.